Welcome everybody to another day of the RSC play-ins playoffs of season 13. I'm Tavis, joined here by Smokey Bear as we're continuing with day 2 of the rival play-ins. First matchup, Uranum taking on Erebos in that lower bracket. But before we get into all those details, Smokey, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Been a good day, and it's about to get even better now being in the booth with yourself and casting some amazing rival play-ins. What a matchup we've got, Tavish.
Yeah, like I said, we have a beautiful matchup here, and in the meantime, on the screen, you can see the bracket: Uranum, Erebos, the final battles here in the lower bracket. And if we take a look now from the standings, Erebos being the number 5 seed from the Ignis Conference, Uranum being the number 6 seed from the Glaciers Conference. So they're pretty close to each other. Never played against each other, maybe scrimmaged here and there. But for the first time in this league, they're gonna face off against each other here, and they're gonna do it in play-ins. And here we see the team stats on the screen as well. On wins, Erebos a little bit better. On losses, Uranum, yeah, they conceded more, but what do you expect? They're placed lower. But goals scored pretty much the same. On the other hand, Uranum did concede a lot more goals, so there might be a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, they were pretty close in saves as well, so it does look quite even Stevens, and there's some impressive performances here in the game stats as well. Hexos, the captain there, made 123 saves this season. I think that's probably the most impressive one we could all agree off of the board. I wonder if we'll see many of these 123 saves tonight, Tavish.
Yeah, it would be really good if we can see Hexos pop off here, because obviously, like I said, 123 saves. But he also has Semi-Boy on the roster, almost 80 saves. And then on the Uranum side, we also had a couple big amount of saves there that really have a big influence on how this series is gonna play out. But I think that is enough for us. As we're slowly moving here into the game, I'm just gonna ask you real quick, what do you think is gonna happen here? What is your prediction for this matchup?
Alright, I'm thinking, alright, we're pretty much even Stevens here. I think we're going for game 5, Tavish,
Ooh.
and I think we're going for Uranum 3-2.
So, okay, well, I agree with you on one thing. I think Uranum is going to win this one, but I think they're going to take it in 4. I think a
Oh,
3-1
okay.
scoreline for Uranum. I think it wouldn't surprise me if we see a lot of overtimes, but I don't see that game 5 happening. But we have all the players in. We are ready to go here. Let's see how this matchup is going to play out. We have Elusive, Marps, and Morrow for Uranum. We have Hexos, Chris, and Semi-Boy for Erebos. Let's take game 1 on the way.
Well, here we go. It's an impressive start, as both teams just firing themselves into the middle. Uranum here, looking to try and take that fight to Erebos straight away. In the sky, on the ground, it doesn't matter. It's in the back of the net, and it's Morrow who gets the first one on the board. My goodness, it was just all-out attack. Look at Elusive there, using all of the sidewall, using that full first length of the backboard, and manages to just slice it right into the middle for Morrow to pick up on. An interesting start here, Tavish.
Yeah, 14 seconds in, and already a banging start from Uranum. They didn't let go of that pressure they had straight after the kickoff. And now you can see Erebos, they really want to return that favor and show them, like, yeah, we can also score really fast. Chris tried to keep it in the corner. Only finds Elusive with a banging clear towards midfield. Hex up early, puts it on back with Marv. Not the best touch, but it's enough to clear it. And Morrow, massive clear into the other side. But Chris with an eye. Marv's up into the air. Keeps it at least in the Erebos side for now.
Yeah, it was a bit quick, that first goal, wasn't it? You can see the place starting to break down now a little bit. Erebos now managing to try and flip some attacks up onto the Uranum defence here. Here's another one, repeating what just happened on the other side, but it doesn't go on the back of the net. It's another counter attack here for Uranum, but without that space there, as it's been closed down quickly. And there could be another chance for Erebos, but no, Marbs diving in the way this time, Tavish.
Oh, that was so close. Such a good opportunity for Erebos to get that early equalizer in game number 1. Because you don't want to be down 1 goal the entire time. Obviously, because you're going to lose. But also, it's draining your mentality eventually. Losing game 1 is always crucial. Definitely in these best of 5s. Because after this, you lose 2 more games, you're out. In the best of 7, you can kind of see like, I lost 1. I'll take it back because I have more than enough opportunities. But in the best of 5, it is just crucial to keep that game 1 close or be on the dominant side. But so far, Erebos, they have some moments of pressure, but it's not enough. Uranum just shutting them down on every turn.
100% agree with you there. Uranum have just seeming to be all over it in the midfield, and while they managed to get that first opportunity, I was saying all over it, they sent 2 of them to the ball that time. And, and just like that, you know, the breakdown of possession there, the demo coming in as well, you know, they're just not giving up a bit of space, they're not giving up an inch of it. And you know, if there's a ball that falls into an area where they can play, they will push it. And if we can see a little bit more of that from Erebos there, you know, we tried to see them mirror exactly what was happening to them, then, you know, we could see a very close game. And as you said, you don't want to be on that slipping side in these best of 5 scenarios, especially at these play-ins where you've been working towards all season. You know, all that training should be coming in clutch by now, and you want to be looking that dominant side. And it looks to be Uranum in this first part of this first game. And you know, I've seen an unimpressive, you know, couple of attacks coming from Erebos, but Moro there diving up for that one, just manages to miss. But this one won't miss. This one's in top bins, right under the crossbar. This time it's Marbs.
Yeah, and this was unintentionally a beautiful team play. You had Maro going towards the backboard, already realizing he's not going to get the double, fakes the defense, elusive shots a little bit wide, gets the rest of the defense off guard because they thought that shot was going straight on target, and Marbs only had to get 1 touch towards the back post, and that was enough to extend their lead to 2. But now Sammy Boy, good opportunity for at least 1 goal back. Another shot by Chris will be saved by Marbs. Elusive now gets beat in the middle of the field by Sammy, who wants to get it past one, does get it. Hexos, quick shot will go wide, does have a double, goes wide on the other side. 2 great opportunities, none of them really are that dangerous for the side of Uranum. Marbs now on the other side trying to get a 3rd goal. Will not succeed, but the pressure from Uranum is just relentless. They are going forward with everything that they have. They don't care if they throw 2 people forward or 3. They know they have the opportunity to bounce back in time to just make sure they're not conceding their 1st goal.
Yeah, they've got that cushion right now, you know, that 1 goal lead essentially, so if anything slips up, they've still got 1 to hang on to, and you can see that as they're just pushing out with everything. And you've got to give it up for Erebos as well, you know, despite being 2 goals down, they've not given up since losing that first initial goal, but they need some attack now. Just over a minute left on the clock, some team plays coming out now. Sammy Boy into the middle, passes it back post, it's in off the backboard, 1 more player arriving, there's the redirect from Hexos. It's not just good, it's spicy good.
Oh, this was beautiful. Hexos does get 1 back, touch back, and then Chris just thought that I'll shoot it, but Hexos will still there, just get the final piece of the ball that is needed to get it over the defense. And like you said, they got 1 goal back, but there's still the 1 goal difference compared to Uranum. And now in the final minute, it all comes down to Erebos. Can they bounce back? Can they get that equalizer to force an overtime, or maybe score a late goal straight after that? According to Uranum, they don't want to go there. Elusive tried to keep the pressure. Marbs as well tries to go for the info pass. Fine, Maro does get a shot on target. Will be saved by Chris, who gets a massive clear, followed by Elusive dropping it back into the middle of the field. A little bit of a double commit there on the on the Erebos side. And the pressure is still on. Good ball here. Quick shot on target. We'll find the crossbar. But at least Erebos is showing a little bit more signs of life.
They're really warming up to it this game. You can see how they've shook off the nerves in just a matter of a couple of minutes. Now Chris, and with the physicality, go for the double demo. Hexos puts it to the front post, and Sammy Boy puts it in the back of the net. We were talking about how the Erebos get up this field and equalise. Well, the first one was a beauty, and that one was just pure physicality. Great equaliser with only 10 seconds left, Tavish.
Yeah, and now comes the question, Smokey. Will we see a late game saving action here? That 1 of the 2 will take a lead. Well, Marv's definitely going for it. Or will we see that game?
Oh,
Ball still up.
Nervous moments here. Oh, and there it goes. Well, you know what, Tavish, I was waiting to see it. You did call overtime. Tavish said it first, you heard it here first, folks, and here is our first overtime. So Uranum is going to be kicking from the side wall, Erebos on the defence, but it's a nice big punt up to the other side of the field Moro gets up to it quick though, but it's just that game of hot potato right now. No one trying to really do anything directionally with the ball. It's just a good old case of smack it as hard as you can to the opponent's side of the field and try and make a play from there. But it is just coming to be counter-attack after counter-attack. Hexos this time above the crossbar. Here comes another shot in from Sammy Boy, this time saved away from Marbs.
And Marbs trying to get it clear into the other side. Hexos, last man standing here for Erebos. Does take it into the air. Has some boost with flip reset, but it gets denied by Maro. Sammy, quick touch, gets it past Marbs. Elusive there, takes a shot on target. Will find the crossbar. Beautiful touch there by Sammy to clear it to the side. Try to get a pinch opportunity here. Can he follow up on his own touch? No, he can't. Well, he does actually. Gets that 50. But Elusive will clear it into the middle. Hexos up early. Try to drop it down to one of his teammates, only to find Maro. Yeah, just keeping the ball in the middle of the field. Like I said, it's a game of hot potato. No one really want to take control of that. They try to like bang it forward, try to catch the other off guard, and then go for that punishing blow.
Just which one of these teams will deal the final blow in this game. I thought that maybe was it coming up right now. A chance still for Uranum, sending it into the box. Sammy Boy touches it away, left side. Chris taking over, goes for the air dribble. Maybe we can see a cheeky flip reset here. No, instead opts for that front post. It was a nice play into the middle. If Erebos now can take over this one from the sky, only sends it into Elusive. Elusive with a big counter attack. And of course, across comes the defending player, having to save that one in the nick of time. Very close moments here. Both of these teams getting a bit gutsy, getting a bit divey, getting a bit involved with every single play that's happening on the field. Now, it's Erebos with the attack. Moro having to just go back round and watch this. Let Elusive take over. Elusive trying to just flip it up the other side of the field. But here we go, back into the passing place for Erebos.
Hexos does get it past Maro. Ball for the first time in a dangerous position on that Uranum side. 3 players jump. Elusive gets the credit for the save. The only people there are supposed to really touch it. Now danger in front of the net. A great opportunity for Sammy. Does hit the post. Elusive plays it into the middle of the field. Has some boost workers. Try to get that infield pass. Does get there with his teammates. One of them both were boost starved. Had to come back to get at least a little bit of boost in the tank so they can do something. Mario again without boost. Does drop it down. Hex is not the best of touches, but it keeps the Erebos pressure alive.
That's what they need right now. You can see Uranum, they've been trying to hold on to this just as much as them. They've been playing that counter attack, they've been playing that hold on in defense, park the bus and put the ball up the other side of the field. However, Erebos, they're making the most of those opportunities and they're putting them into these dangerous areas. There's 2 Uranum players dive for this one. Hexo's watching for the third to come along. Maybe a bit of a squandered opportunity there. There was more time than considered. But now Sammy Boy taking over, trying to find that layoff play to Chris. Chris back to Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy with a redirect! And the save coming in from Marbs is just in time.
Oh, beautiful save there. Now dangerous opportunity on the side of Erebos, but will be saved. And then if just a fun thing here, like with this final goal as well. Sammy Boy, I just want to say, has 7 shots in total on target. Only 1 goal, and here in the final seconds, he gets that infield pass to Chris with 3:31 overtime gone. Erebos were behind the entire game, and then in overtime, where we thought, okay, Uranum might most likely take this. Erebos like, no, we'll step up, we'll do what we need to do. We completely warmed up. Beautiful infield pass, beautiful shot on target, and they take game number 1.
Very impressive game number 1. It is from Erebos, like you said, after going 2 down. At that starting point, you know, Uranum came out there swinging their bats, Tavish. They came out, they were absolutely hot, must have been straight off the scrim. Comms were seeming fire, everything was looking good. And then slowly, bit by bit, Erebos warming up, getting in the flow, feeling the pace, and started taking over that control of the play. And we saw it there for minutes in overtime. Uranum in the back foot, they were parking the bus, holding on for dear life, and well, they fell in that game number 1, Tavish, to a very, what we were calling want to be a dominant team, to a very, in the end up, dominant Erebos.
Yeah, like you said, maybe the comes from the scrim that helped Uranum at the start, but Erebos, they bounced back so good. But now comes the question. Game 1 was so close because Erebos had to really warm up for this series. Or at least for that game number 1. And Uranum, they were just a lot better already from the start. will that happen in game number 2 as well? Will we see that it's Uranum taking the lead, Erebos bouncing back? Or now that Erebos warmed up, will we see them just being dominant out of the two? And then Uranum has to play catch up. Only time will tell, but I think it's going to be a very interesting game number 2.
You're right. It's definitely going to be a different game number 2 in terms of the fact that, spot on to what you said, these teams are both warmed up in these different ways, and we've got different goals going on to match it. This was a tasty team play. Defend from Uranum there, not good enough, and a passing play from Chris to Hexos into that dangerous area, into the back of the net. Is the perfect start that Erebos would have wanted. We wanted a different game too. We definitely got one now, Tavish.
Yeah, beautiful start here in this game. Number 2, and an early answer from Erebos already to the question, how will they play in this game number 2? But now comes the question, of course, to Uranum, how will they answer? Because for game number 1 they were in the lead for so long, and then they kind of gave it away in the end. But now Erebos, they had that beautiful team play, like you said, here at the start, and they're already looking for their second goal. Chris takes it into the air. Sammy Boy, quick shot on target. Will go wide. Warps takes his time to clear it. But it's just not a good clear. You're looking for them, or at them, like, hey, get a good clear, try to find each other, try to get that ball to one of your teammates, but it's just banging the ball forward, hoping for the best right now.
That could be working out right now for Elusive, as Elusive just bangs that one all the way towards Sammy Boy, all the way towards the crossbar and into the back of the net. My goodness, the amount of contact that was on that ball in a short space of time. It just goes to show you just how elusive he is.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna give you credit for that one. That was just too obvious. Like, I knew you wanted it, but no. But at least one thing that we have to agree on is Elusive just carried his team there for a little bit. Said, okay, we need an answer right now. Let me just take it into the air. Now, quick shot for Elusive as well. Try to catch Hexagon's guard. Does get the bump. Catches the teammate off as well. Mario follows up in the weird chaos. And just like that, Uranum was in the lead.
A very quick follow-up there. And look at that bump play. That was cheeky. That was rude. That's getting right in your opponent's grill. And throwing some mind games in the mix as well, of course, going in the cam. And just like how that shapes things up, Uranum were in the lead in game number 1, Erebos started bringing it back, Erebos up in the lead in game number 2. That may be another goal there coming in, but no, not this time. Erebos maybe nearly scoring a second one there, but you just look at how things have flipped around in this series. I think it's definitely anybody's game as of right now, fair to say, Tavish.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Smokey. I wanted to say Erebos is going to take this game number 2 pretty comfortably, but now Erebos did get the first goal. Uranum just answered back really, really fast. Now they might concede one to Sammy, who slots one just beneath the defense to get that equalizer.
There it is, that cheeky little turnaround there. Just puts enough power on it just to slink it right past the goalkeeper. And of course, Uranum, after just scoring 2 really nice goals and getting the lead, they're going to be thinking, oh, right, what do we actually need to do here? You know, we had that first bit of momentum, didn't work. And then they had the first bit of momentum, still didn't work for us. So, you know, I think for Uranum as well, they're going to have to do a little bit more physicalities coming out in the field. You know, we've seen it from Erebos, and it's working out in their favour here. I think if they don't respond to that, we could be witnessing a demolition here, Tavish.
Yeah, like I said, any disruptions, demos, bumps, just being annoying in front of the goal line always works. And Erebos definitely doing it a lot more than Uranum right now. So maybe if Uranum would use it a little bit more, it might help them. More beautiful save there to at least keep them in the fight here, as we have 2 minutes left on the clock. But I agree with you there, Smokey Bear. It's just the question, will they do it, or will Uranum just stick to their original game plan of bang it forward, try to follow up as fast as you can, and catch Erebos off guard?
Yeah, they're peaking pretty good right now in defence, though. I must admit, you know, it's been a very strong Erebos that's managed to get a couple of goals past. Moro there having a go of their own, but not quite managing to find the back of the net. And we just do end up back in this big clear away the ball game. And that one, though, that was a shot in the front post from Marbs. Here comes the follow-up from Moro. Here comes Elusive with a shot, but Sammy Boy diving out for the save. fantastic stuff. And now here comes a 50 that bounced off of 3 players, goes to the backboard, off the backboard. Here goes the player who's Moro, but unfortunately it just falls a little bit short there, Tavish.
Yeah, Marbs try to get a touch, doesn't make contact. Sammy Boy drops it down. Marbs in the middle, gets at least one touch. Elusive trying to follow up, doesn't make contact. And now Hexos in the air. Has some boost to work with, has flip percent to work with, wins the 50-50 in front of the target. Sammy throws himself, but Maro gets the clear, tries to get it past Chris, does get it past Chris at the far post. Uranum take the lead yet again.
That was a fantastic goal to take the lead with as well. Beat them all and then beat the last one in the back of the net. It's exactly what Moro needed to do there. Did it finally. And with a minute left on the clock, we asked the question, is every single game in this series going to go to overtime? Because this is the way it looks right now. These teams just giving it absolutely everything. They want to keep their spot here in play-ins. They want to make it through into playoffs and reach that grand final. Yeah, with Moro now having to go back on that. Let Marbs take over. Marbs trying to play it into the middle. This time tries to do it with a second play, but it just slips past Elusive. And now Moro going from the corner. 0 boost though. Gonna have to maybe try and play a 50, let a teammate take over. Sammy taking it over said teammate and performing the layoff. But another great 50 in the middle for Uranum. Creates another opportunity here. Squandered though with the whiff. Elusive having to take over. And again, we're back in that. Here we go, everybody, punt the ball.
Yeah, it's like you said in game 1, a game of hot potato, and now just bang it forward, hope for the best. And no one really wants to keep it too long, because you're gonna get burned at the end. But now, final seconds ticking down. Uranum keeping the ball close so they can kill it. And they do. Uranum take game number 2, where we thought Erebos was gonna be the dominant one. Uranum bounced back with the beautiful answer.
It was beautiful, and you know, after such a tight-knit game as well, it was really close between these two teams, and you got to give credit to Erebos as well. You know, they were pulling up one hell of a defense in that game. Sammy Boy claiming 3 saves, Hexos claiming 2, and Chris getting 1 as well. We had 6 shots coming in from Moro and another 5 between Elusive and Marbs. So, you know, that was all-out attack there from Uranum. We were saying, oh, last game, oh, you know, they're just sitting back, feeding off the pressure right now and trying to counter-attack. This time, there was no countering. It was just pure all-out attack.
It was a lot of attack. That's definitely that's a good way to describe it. But now, as you know as well, because you've casted a lot of Rocket League, just like me, you're at that point right now where you have game 1 went one way, game 2 went the other way, game 3 is now the turning point in this series. No matter who's gonna take it, that team has the lead and has all the momentum in their favor. So game 1 was Uranum was in the lead, and then Erebos bounced back in the overtime in the end. Game 2 was Erebos in the lead, Uranum kind of bounced back and then just said like, I'm just gonna take it no matter what. And now it's a little bit, who's gonna take game number 3? What do you think, Smokey?
Well, we're at this point of even Stevens. These are when I love to try and make a choice most, and I think, you know, my prediction of 3-2, a story to tell, Tavish. I think that does have a story to tell, and I think it's Uranum's story here so far. But Erebos looking to prove me wrong, looking to prove Uranum wrong here. And at least for the starting point in the game, they take a nice goal off of a big mistake.
Oh, that was painful to watch is the best way to describe it. Because you saw the ball going up, Maro jumping straight into the air, Elusive jumping across the backboard, and then both realizing, oh yeah, I'm not going to touch this. Probably called each other off as well in the communications. And then Chris was just waiting on the ground like, hey, a ball is dropping down, I got a free goal. So he's not complaining, Erebos is not complaining, every Might of Hades fan is not complaining, but now they might be, because Elusive just answered back.
I know, just like that. I mean, what's going on with these two teams here tonight? This is what we love about the RSC EU rival play ads. You know, these teams are just absolutely giving it everything. And then someone somewhere on the field tries to breathe for like 1 second, and then there's another 4 cars there on the ball, and it's just closed down so quickly. The pace is just absolutely living it up. Here we are in Sovereign Heights. Here's another shot coming from Elusive, but Hexo is managing to get in the way that time. Tries to flip it up and over the top, and then walks away from it. And of course, a breakdown of possession. Marbs though managing to get up and over the top, manages to find the layoff and onto the redirect shot, but it sinks past the post, Tavish.
Oh, that was so close. I would have loved that one to go in. But Sammy here is like, okay, I'll just do something on the other side. Puts it on the defense, and the defense has a bit of an awkward touch. Then jumps for it straight into the dunk, into the double from the crossbar to get the lead.
Yeah, that was a proper slam dunk there from Sammy Boy at one point. Oh, absolutely super stuff. Michael Jordan, everybody, as someone said in the chat, and of course a big thank you to everyone vibing with us here, from myself and Tavish in the commentary booth. It's an absolute pleasure to bring these RSC EU rival play-ins to you guys. Now, here goes Chris, trying to punt that up the field, and I find to believe it was Sammy Boy for the redirect, and you can see this from both teams here. They're both trying it, Tavish, they're living it up. It's Clip Central right now.
Yeah, and here Maro looking for an opportunity, finds a loose in the middle of the field. Uranum really desperate here for an answer. They're now kind of hunting for it. Maro, beautiful save to make sure they're not going 2 goals down. Hexos here, beautiful infield pass. Chris trying to follow up, doesn't get the right read on it. And Elusive gets 1 piece, doesn't get second. Well, does win the 50 against Sammy Boy. But now Chris try to take it into the corner, try to get a past one, don't get the infield pass. No one of his team able to follow up. But the ball is at least still in that Uranum side for Erebos. Sammy now into the eye, tries to get a double touch, does drop it down, but the angle a little bit too tight, so no third goal for Erebos.
And well, I was saying Clip Central, I mean, if it's Clip Central Park, then it's open 24 hours right now with these two teams playing. My goodness, there was nearly another one there coming from Erebos and Sammy Boy. Now, here comes another attack from Erebos, looming player after player, playing rotation after rotation, playing their game well right now after what seemed to be a disappointing start for them in the series. Now Sammy Boy trying to keep up that pressure. Hexos flying into the middle. It leads off a little bit. There was a bump coming in from Uranum potentially, but I think it was evaded in that occasion. We were calling it, Tavish, saying get a little bit more physical, lads.
Yeah, a little bit more physical. Let's hope they can show more of it. Because still, in Game 1 and Game 2, we saw it more than here in Game 3. And then obviously Marb's demo with Hexos. The moment I say that, so thanks for that. But it's still not enough. You would expect more demos, more bumps at the end of your rotation. The number 1 rotates back to the number 3 position. And then at least when you rotate out in front of that, you get a bump or someone, a demo. You just be annoying and make it difficult for them to get a normal touch on it. But Uranum is not really doing that. And Erebos, in Game 1 and 2 they did, but now here in Game number 3 they're kind of silent. I think they don't want to overcommit too much or go for any dangerous things. Because they also realize, if we go down, then we have to play 2 games in a row to win. But Hexos here is like, nah, I'll just put one in, you know. Sammy Boy gets the infield pass. Hexos quick shot on target. Marbs didn't read it correctly. And now there's a 2-goal cushion in favor of Erebos.
Yeah, that one was slipping away there from Marbs. Very unfortunate, but not for Erebos. They'll be loving this. Here's another one firing out the backboard. Marbs this time getting up and getting that one away twice in a row, looking for that takeover. However, a bit of space and a bit of time here for Uranum. No, it's been given up, and Sammy Boy's put it in the back of the net. I was just about to call a bit of space, a bit of time, a breather, get that ball passed directionally, and it's just been passed away, Tavish, and Sammy Boy has received the pass and put it in the back of the net from their opponent.
Yeah, anything can happen in Rival. If you think Prospect is low tier, Rival players can also show up from time to time. But every player in every tier can do that so far. But this stuff like this is what makes the play-ins always so beautiful. Because under the pressure of realizing, if I lose this, I'm eliminated, you're gonna make some pretty beautiful mistakes for the casters and for the audience watching. For you and your teammates, you're definitely hitting yourself in the head. Your teammates are gonna be cheering for you, so, you know, a lot of emotions with one awkward touch, and the players of Uranum are realizing now what one awkward touch can do to the momentum you're slowly building. Maro, on the other hand, tries to keep a little bit of momentum, but just get it under the crossbar, just no one able to follow up to get that second goal in the final seconds. And that's one they desperately need, because they need the momentum for the rest of the series.
Yeah, it was a big bit of pressure that's been dropped off this game from Uranum. They've not quite been on the ball this game per se, but Erebos have, and well, here we are, we're at that game 3 point. Erebos have taken that game number 3 very impressively, might I add. And does it start to look like the swing is weighing more on one side, Tavish? Are Erebos looking the bigger and badder boss here?
Yeah, I think they do, because if you would look at Sammy Boy, I think every game so far he had at least 6 shots or more, so he's definitely someone who puts a lot of shots on target, creates a lot of pressure. And for Uranum, they need to have an answer already, need to keep their defense up the entire time, because if you allow Sammy Boy to take this many shots, you need to get a lot of saves as well, and in this game they only had 3, so that is not enough with the shots that you have to defend. And I think for Uranum, if they can shut down Sammy Boy already for a couple more seconds throughout the entire game, you can take a couple shots off, or at least the accuracy of those shots. And then you have a better opportunity to get some equalizers, or to get at least a little bit of an equal game. Because that's what they did in game 1 and 2, but here in game 3 they just fumbled the bag and threw it away.
Yeah, I think, you know, we're talking about physicalities, we're talking about, you know, what these players need to do, and well, this is where time starts to run out, Tavish, you know. Uranum, they've managed to claim themselves right onto that match point Tesco value, and, you know, with that, you know, comes that Asda price. So I think that from here, they're going to be looking to just absolutely close this one out. And however, unfortunately, there's been something that's going on in the field right now.
Yeah, one of the players can't join, so we'll quickly gotta set up the lobby again so we can get all the players ready. To, you know, make sure that they can play the game, otherwise it's gonna be very, very awkward.
Yeah.
If they want to play the game but they can't, cause, you know, it's tournament live here as well.
Yeah, this is esports, isn't it? This is Rocket League.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we've had the issue last weekend with the prospect lower finals and finals, where there was something of a big M&M event that the servers went down and that we couldn't continue. So rather not have something like this here as well, that we have to postpone some of these series. But I hear that the lobby is slowly being made again. So before you know it, we'll get game 4 underway. And Erebos are on double match point now, Smokey.
You know, that's right. They're looking good. They're looking pretty hot right now. I wonder how they'll fare off after having this, you know, little break here again, and, you know, jumping back into this. How will they be able to, you know, come back out into this game number 4? And I think Uranum, they could be possibly making the most of this as well, Tavish. They could be thinking, all right, you know, we've got a wee chance for a wee breather here. Let's get back out on this field and let's just turn it up, not just 1 notch, but 5. And you know, if they can get on that field and do that, then they maybe just survive here in this series, Tavish. But it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot, because this Erebos team, they're looking pretty fire right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. At the start, I was like, okay, Erebos, yeah, you're the 5th seed in your conference. Uranum is the 6th seed, and obviously you have everyone knows Sammy Boy, everyone knows Hexos, well-known players. And then on the other side, you have Elusive, and you have Marv's, also well-known players that have like a lot of reputation in general to within RSC to, you know, like they can perform. But as well, you're now on stream, you have an audience, you have your final life, so if you lose, you're out. A lot of things are stacking up. If you only have one of those things, like, okay, I can handle that. But it's just piling up, and then in the end, it's like you have to pick the least amount of pressure, and if you can't handle that, then it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I think, you know, that pressure has been very back and forth this game. Will be really interesting after that break to see which one of these teams still holds that pressure. You know, after that short intermission break there, and just if we'll get any cheeky goals, they'll come slipping off the bat. Here's one, and it's Hexos on the board within 5 seconds there from the break. We were asking, who's holding that pressure? Well, before the break, it was Erebos. We've had a little short intermission break, and it's still Erebos.
Yeah, I wanted to say as well, How bad can it be after a break? Well, Erebos, like, we didn't lose any momentum. We still know what we're doing. And here a beautiful fake opportunity for Hexos.
Play coming into the middle here, but it's been redirected away. This though, trying to find that other side of it. Zero boost, gonna have to be Hexos, takes over, does so, reaches up there, but it just goes all the way wide into the corner with too much power and leads another counter attack. But wait, again, here comes Sammy Boy. No one closing that player down and taking them off the field right now, but instead, another attack for Uranum. Goes so close there, just sinking right onto the crossbar where it was met by the player Tavish. Some super close stuff here to start us off.
Yeah, Uranum slowly building a little bit of pressure. They definitely, I think they're realizing now, like, if we lose this, we're actually out. We don't have another life. We don't have another game to play. Because gone is gone. And you're really looking at them now. What's their solution against this Erebos roster? Because Erebos just popping off time after time with every attack that they're doing, and their attacks are upgrading as well for some reason, because it's an infield pass from the backboard, then it's an infield pass from left to right, then it's just an infield pass from up to down. They're just doing something and it works. And for Uranum, they're doing something, but it's just not working in the end. And the answers that they work when they have a lot of boost and when they can follow up on their own touches. But the Erebos players, they just throw themselves forward sometimes to make that touch from Uranum so awkward that there is no option to follow up on it.
You're right, it's Uranum that's having to come up with all the answers here, and it's Erebos, and it's Hexos and Sammy Boy who's asking all the questions right now of this Uranum defense. Erebos ripping them apart, but there's still 3 minutes left in the clock. As you said, Uranum hanging on by that last lifeline. And by goodness, they need it right now. They need to make the most of these 3 minutes like they've never played Rocket League before. But here goes Chris from all the way up there into the back of the net. Erebos looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and here you have 2 goals in a row now that exactly describe how Erebos plays. Because the first one is they just drop the ball from up to down, and then one of the teammates follows up, and it's just a banger of a shot on target. And then the other one is like, I'll just do it solo. I'll take an air dribble, goes for the double tap, and put it in. Here as well, beautiful opportunity to get that 4th goal in. Erebos really showing their dominance here, and it's already looking for the next team that's in their line. If Erebos keeps this dominance, it's going to be very difficult for any team facing them to get a good grip on how they should contain this roster.
Yeah, and I hope that anyone Erebos might be coming up against are watching the stream right now so they can prepare themselves for, you know, who they might play against later if Erebos can continue this absolutely beautiful game that they've got going on right now. But you got to give it up for Uranum. You know, they're not giving up, they're still throwing everything at the ball. It does seem to be slipping away from them, but for them, there is still hope, there is still a chance to try. It is never over until it's over. And now, here's another chance for Uranum, and no, God, denies!
Oh, that was such a good opportunity. And like you said, Hexos just being in the way there, saying, nah, you're not gonna score on me this game. Chris now takes it past 1, doesn't follow up. Sammy Boy drops it down. Hexos wanted to follow up, but realized that Elusive was waiting for him. So he just takes his time. Elusive now on the other side, trying to get an info pass. Find Marv's looking for the info pass as well. Elusive now on the receiving end. Has an opportunity to at least drop it down. Morrow waiting, doesn't make contact. Elusive trying to do it on his own, also doesn't work. And just like that, a whole half minute is gone purely based on that Uranum offense, but no fruits to bear. And Hexos trying to keep the Erebos offense already going on the other side.
You're right, Uranum look really drained right now. Their boost looks really drained right now. They look like they're really hanging on with those last fingertips, with those last wheels on the cliff edge. And oh my goodness, that's another one up there from Morrow. That was an excellent save with only a minute left to spare. They're still holding on. Here goes Sammy Boy up trying to read that slam dunk. Michael Jordan couldn't get it that time, couldn't get it the second time. Here comes the counter attack, but no, denied. Hexos takes it up and over. It can't beat that defense, and it's going to be a bit of back and forth here. but it's just draining the life from Uranum right now. Only 30 seconds left, Tavish.
Yeah, 30 seconds left until Erebos will continue in the lower bracket run and Uranum will be eliminated. Down a little bit of an awkward touch. Might they get the own goal? No, they can't. Elusive does get the clear in the end. Doesn't get the most beautiful touch, but it works for now. Then you have Sammy Boy in the corner waiting. Uranum they just want to get one goal, so they at least have something to talk about when they're slowly leaving the pitch in a couple seconds. Morrow does get in, but Elusive try to get a redirect. Ball still up in the air. No, banger off a clear from Sammy Boy, and Erebos will take the game.
That was absolutely superb stuff from Erebos and Uranum. All 6 players out there looked like they were having fun out in the field there tonight, Tavish. However, having fun a little bit more will be Erebos advancing through on into the next round. What a matchup that was, Tavish. Wow, that was incredible. What a way to start us off tonight as well in the stream.
Yeah, it's definitely, and this game had everything. From the start, we're like, okay, this is gonna be an equal matchup, and then the further we got, the further this series developed, it was just Erebos showing utter dominance and not allowing Uranum to bounce back at any point.
And I believe, next up they're going to be taking on, Council of Souls Knights and the next round and on the next hour. So, that's going to be interesting to see them play again. I'll be watching as a viewer this time and not from the commentary booth. But to break down that series, it was absolutely amazing. But there was really one player, Tavish, who shined above the rest.
Yeah, the series MVP is gonna be Sammy Boy. 1834 points, 17 shots, 4 goals, 3 assists, 6 saves, and 2 demos. And we already talked about it, about the shots during the series. How many shots there he had to his name just after each and every game. But 17 in total is just a huge amount in the series.
Absolutely impressive performance. If I was to sum up that series in 2 words, I would say Sammy and Hexos. It was absolutely all-star performances, I believe, and I'll be really excited to see how they get on in their next matchup against Knights, Tavish.
Yeah, and talking about the next matchup, like I said, they're gonna face off against Knights. It's gonna be an interesting series. I will be there, and I think I will be accompanied for that one by the one and only Kingsman Gas, who is gonna, well, he can cast his own franchise with it. He'll probably love that part. But we're gonna take a 15-minute break, and just a quick heads up for everyone watching the stream. The streamer in the background will take some technical issues at hand. So the stream will probably be off for roughly 5 minutes, then we'll be back online without any issues. So we'll continue. But so if the stream dies for you, so if you don't see anything, don't worry, we will be back after this break.